The job analytics market has always been competitive, but now it's tougher than ever. With recent tech layoffs, more people than ever, from experienced analysts to career changers, are now competing for the same limited number of jobs. But the open job positions aren't keeping up with the supply of candidates inside this market. In 2023 alone, nearly 500,000 tech employees were laid off globally, many of which are still looking for a data analytics job. So this video is going to take you through the hidden layers of what it takes to stand out in data analytics. And we're going to go beyond the skills and uncover the qualities that make candidates memorable and the common pitfalls that will hold you back. Hey, I'm Jeff, and I started over 15 years ago in a temp data entry position and worked my way up to a data analyst. And now I'm a business analyst consultant at United Health Group, a Fortune 4 company. And I've helped on the hiring side, so I know what it takes to get candidates to stand out and get hired. The market is tough, but I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people break into data, sharing weekly insights to make that happen. So if you're serious about landing your first data job, subscribe now. And then let's dive in. Many aspiring data analysts believe that mastering the basics from Excel, SQL, Python, and Power BI or Tableau is enough. But when hundreds of applicants are all having the same technical skills, being good is just not enough anymore. Let's talk about market saturated skills versus value added skills. You don't need to know everything, but you need an edge to stand out from the various people that you're competing against. A special area of knowledge that sets you apart from everybody else. This might be something like industry specific knowledge and expertise, and then having other specialties, having advanced visualization skills, or having automation skills, or even coding skills, being able to solve different problems that other candidates won't be able to solve with just their generic data science skills will give you an edge. But you want to aim for skills that add direct business value. So you want to think of data storytelling to the specific industry, directed to the company and the team that you're specifically applying for. Reach out to people, get as much knowledge as you can, and then research and use ChatGPT to get your knowledge up to date as much as you can. Next, building a portfolio, like we all know, is essential, but it's not just about showcasing your skills. Think of your portfolio as a set of business case studies rather than just a technical showcase. This means you want to frame each project around a real world problem that applies to the specific role or industry that you're applying for. So if you're analyzing a data set, don't just report the findings. You also want to simulate an actual business problem that might come up for the role that you're applying for. For example, if you're using a retail data set, do a deep dive on customer churn and also sales forecasting to show how you would have solved this as if it were for a client or for an internal department, or possibly for your CEO or sales director, depending on who your future stakeholders are going to be. When your portfolio projects feel like case studies that address real world problems, hiring managers are going to see you as someone who can get real business value and not just someone who's just technically proficient, because with all of the free resources today or low cost resources, technical skill set is no longer gonna make you stand out from everybody else. Next, many hiring managers come with biases about candidates based on their backgrounds, and this is especially impactful on career switchers. This is natural because naturally as humans, we have biases and they can work in your favor. You just have to learn how to work with them. Instead of hiding your previous experiences, you want to flip these biases in your favor. So if you come from a marketing background and you're transitioning into healthcare, you want to highlight how your customer insight knowledge can apply to patient insights because they are very similar. You just have to find parallels of how they apply to each other. The goal is to show your unique perspective and how it enhances your analytic skills and also tie it back to past role into your future role. So reframe these past experiences to give it a complementary strength. And then tip number 4 is your communication skills. You need to become an analyst who speaks business and data combined. This is one area that I see not a lot of people talk about. And it's one area that if you have the technical skills and you have the soft skills, you'll be able to go pretty far inside a company, not only getting raises, but being able to get promoted and head into management if that's what you want to do. Employers value people who are considered translators in data analytics. These are going to be people who can communicate complex insights into clear, actionable ways, and also a way that is simple for people to understand. Data storytelling is very key here. You want to start practicing by breaking down key insights inside data on LinkedIn, or be able to explain a recent data trend. And by doing so, you'll be able to showcase your ability to simplify and also contextualize the data, which is a critical skill set that many analysts and just many people in general do not have, especially in a data-driven role. So when you can do this, and one of the easiest ways to do this is be able to take a complex concept and to be able to make a simple analogy to something that is everyday and is simple for them to understand. Another way to be able to find these different analogies is to work with ChatGPT and then just ask ChatGPT, how do I make this into a simple analogy for my stakeholders who are non-technical to understand? And then ChatGPT will go through a lot of different scenarios and then just keep adjusting until you find the perfect metaphor or analogy that you can use. So proving that you can make the data digestible and relevant isn't just about analytics. It positions you as a strategist or as a consultant. That is the kind of skill that makes you stand out inside an interview. And then 5 is networking data analytics by having value-added connections. Networking is critical. I've talked about it in my previous video where networking by itself can help you get a job. If you haven't seen it there and you're creating your network from scratch, I highly suggest checking it out. I'll leave a link up here or inside the description. But it's more than just a numbers game or having a numbers game approach. A numbers game approach can work, but a more effective approach and a better use of your time is focusing on value-driven networking. This means reaching out with a specific industry-relevant insight where you're commenting on their content or just asking for feedback because you're applying to the specific role or you want to improve yourself on a specific skill that you're developing helps out a lot compared to the people who are just sending out generic messages. Building genuine connections often leads to real referrals, mentorships, and even direct job offers, which is a huge advantage than just relying on your technical skills alone. And then tip number 6 is using your soft skills in interviews to be able to demonstrate adaptability, curiosity, self-learning, and passion. What matters is the story that you're telling and how you connect, and that emotion that you can get the interviewer to feel and everyone that you interact with feel is going to make you more memorable than the actual words that you say. The words that you say are important, but it's going to be how you say them. And when I've talked about with directors, my boss, when we're hiring different analysts into the roles that we're looking for. We are looking for people who are passionate, people who actually like the data, people who are not going to be hard to work with. You want to think about adaptability as like an insurance policy for companies. You want to highlight your learning journey, certifications, and even trends that you're studying. But you want to show that you're also proactive. You have this curiosity that when things are not going your way, when there's big problems that happen, that you're not going to freak out, that you can figure things out and have a proactive mindset, which reduces the perceived risk of hiring you and also the perceived risk of working with you. When we're about to hire an analyst, we all meet together after they've gone through the whole process, and it's near one of the end parts of the process. We'll meet with my manager, and then all the analysts will talk about what they felt when they interviewed that person. Will this person fit on their team? By the time that you reach the later stages, you're usually going to fit all of the technical stuff. Now it's more about the personality fit. Now we're talking about, will this person fit the team? What did we see that could be a red flag? Will they be easy to work with? Will you get along with this person? So remember that soft skills go a long way in how you connect with the team, because ultimately that is what is going to put you over when you reach the later stages of your interviews. And lastly, remember that this is not a sprint, but it's going to be a marathon. We're seeing applicants apply to jobs in the 100 to 1,000 applications before they're getting a role or even an offer. So inside this market, just know that you're going to have to put in the work and keep on striving and keep applying and keep getting better until you can get into that role. Now that you have a clear idea of how to stand out in a crowded market, remember that network is one of the fastest ways to get noticed. So how do you build a network when you don't have one? I'm going to cover that exactly inside my next video. So watch that one next.